Hello and
Just
welcome
run this for
to
funsies.
Quint's Corner. Today we're going to be talking about a game called Star Resonance from Blue Protocol. It's been out a little over a month, and we're going to be talking about the Stimen vaults today and what I feel is the best way to run the vault. Now, if you're a DPS or a tank, it does matter what you're doing. I'm going to be doing this with the help of Brickley today. He's going to be our tank today, and I'm going to be on a DPS. And he's going to show you.
Oh, don't start it. Don't start it.
This is the hallway. That's the ramp over there. Let me just clarify a few things. And that's the floor. Now, where we're going to be fighting is the top of the ramp over there. And he's going to run the hallway and meet us over there. We're going to go down on the floor and we're going to meet him there. And he's going to start tanking everything right there. Now, he will bring everything from here, and I will bring everything from the floor, and we'll meet there, and he'll start tanking, and then I'll help him kill it. And this is pretty much the set standard for doing this properly, all the way up to at least floor 30, which is how high I've been. Now they just opened up 31 to 40, and I haven't had the luxury of doing them yet, so I don't even know what's on those floors yet. But for this, it's going to be pretty straightforward. He's going to run this way. He's going to hold shift down, and he's going to sprint. And while he's sprinting to keep his stamina from burning out, he's going to be jumping. That way he moves faster and he doesn't lose stamina. And I'm going to be doing the same thing, but I'm going to come from the floor down there up to the top of the ramp, and he's going to go across the top and meet us at the ramp. So here we go. Ready? So here we go. Now I'm going to hold the shift down. My stamina is burning. You see it? And I'm going to be jumping so I don't burn through all my stamina. We're going to sprint up here like this. And we're just waiting for Brickley, and he's going to post up literally about right here. And this is where he's going to start tanking things. And he's going to hold aggro, and then I'm going to do this. And I'm going to start doing crowd control, and I'm going to start doing damage. Just straight up damage. So... but this is the hallway. He's literally bringing everything in. There's 3 sets of monsters in here, and he's going to grab them all. And this is pretty much the simple strategy, right? So 4 people jump down below, meet up the top of the ramp. 1 person runs across the upper floor, meets us at the ramp, and everything's good to go. Now, the only thing different I do that Brickley I don't think does is that when I'm running my tank, when I set in position, I hit the H button so I start auto attacking, because I want to start locking things into place as fast as I can so the DPS can start beating on it. Because until he's locked in and start hitting things, I can't really start the DPS because I don't want to pull him off on me, because I'm squishy compared to him. I've only got 40,000 hit points. He can have upwards in the neighborhood of 140,000 hit points when it's done, all said and done. Now, he did not pull those further through. You don't necessarily want to fight outside this box. This is as low as you want to go right here when you're fighting on here. But you want to literally stay in this section of the floor right here to fight these hostiles. There's some floors in later in the 20s that you don't do that in. But until you get to the 20s, that's pretty much the set standard to keeping external damage away. And you'll see the external damage I'm talking about when we get to floor 5. So we're going to bring this guy up. We're waiting for Brickley to show up.
You gotta give them all a second to get over here. I get here well before they do. That's why I wait to attack, so they're actually all on the ramp.
Now we're just going to sit here and we're going to kill things. Okay, same thing, rinse, repeat. Go down to the bottom. But this, like I said, this is the easiest way to do this. Bar none. And a lot of people, they'll try to run them at the floor. They'll run them up in the hallway up here. And they'll try to do a whole bunch of different things. But these are methods that truly do work. Now, obviously, I'm not the ideal person to be pulling things because I'm still fairly squishy. There's normally like a second tank type that we have in the group that does, it's either the spear guy or it's a heavy guardian or something like that. Those are actually the best to use. But if you've got, this is all you got, that's all you got. But what he's doing is, as he's standing here, I'm running past him, and he's going to hit the hostiles that I bring up from the floor. And when they come past...
Oh, there he is.
Is he downstairs or upstairs?
Somebody fell down or something.
But as I run past him, he's going to start attacking, and he's going to kill them or draw their attention, and then your DPS and your support classes don't pull the aggro. Because as he's attacking, he's healing. On the bosses, a little bit different. You're stuck on the floor, you just fight. Any way you can, best way you can. The Juggernaut, he's pretty simple. It's just a straight beat down. The next mechanics on the next floors, you'll see it'll have an eye and a box, and that box does external damage when you're inside the box. And at 3,000 hit points a pop, or more, it can get kind of painful quick. So I tried to show this in a video. I was making a video with 2 tanks doing it, and it didn't work out so well. But Brickley's principle up top is pretty much the same principle I'm using down below. He's just doing it up top. Now there's the box. Now we want to keep that box from seeing us because it does static damage if we're inside it. And as you can see, I'm already taking a lot of damage from the hostiles.
Yeah, that's smart. Damn.
So now Brickley's set up. He's actually tanking everything. Run past the group, Brickley.
Or past what?
And then Brickley runs past the group, and then I run past the group in opposite direction. So he runs past the group towards away from his hostile, and I run towards away from my hostile. And then next thing you know, everything's stacked on top of each other. And then we're killing it at one time. Everything's dying together instead of in pieces. Because obviously you don't want to have to keep killing groups, because on a 3-minute timer per floor, you don't have a lot of time to keep going back and fixing things. And if I'm not mistaken, every time we start the floor, it refills all your hit points. So don't worry about wasting food to bring your hit points up.
You look dead. I don't know if that's true. Nope. Okay. Stand corrected.
Okay, we're going to run back up here. We're going to wait for Brickley to get to the corner.
Yeah, hold on. The eye be hurting.
Okay, we're going to have to start fighting here. So we want to still stack them right there where Brickley's going to be fighting. And then Brickley's going to just run into the circle, and he's going to start hitting right there. And rinse, repeat. Every floor. Every floor but the boss floor is done this way. All the way to 21. When you get to floor 21, it's a little bit different mechanic. I don't think we'll be able to get there with just the two of us. But there's a light on the floor. You just stand in the light on the floor and you attack the monsters from the light to get full damage. If you're not in the light, you're standing in darkness, and if you're standing in darkness, you do half damage. So it's a pretty simple mechanic. But there's the eye right there floating up there. See it? So, okay, Brickley's going to go grab his things. There's one guy in the center. We got the pig. Now, I'm going to show you how this box just flipping hurts.
It might just kill you.
Yeah, well, that was the whole point. I was trying to show how much damage it does. I'll go get the pig. Just set up and start killing. But that just to give you an idea how much damage that actually does. Where's that pig at? But that just an idea on how much damage it actually does to somebody. And this is why fighting at this ramp section prevents that damage from happening. Yeah, there are healers in the game, but they're not healers in the sense of the game as normal mechanics of a healer. They don't heal like you would think compared to other games that I've played, other MMOs that I've played. They just lack the healing power. I don't think that cost us the round. I think we can still complete the round, but I wanted to show everybody how simple it was to die just from being inside the box. So people understand that avoiding this box is definitely a necessity.
There we go.
Now, normally what I would do is I would try to not be in that box hardly at all, for obvious reasons, because I can't tank the damage of the box. With a healer in the group, it does give a little bit of healing, but I still ultimately die from the box. So, and as you're running this, you can only collect rewards once a week for the floors. So if you've already ran it, you won't get the rewards again. At that point, you're just helping somebody else. So, and it's literally just a rinse repeat. Meet at the top of the ramp. We do our thing. I'm going to pop a food.
Okay.
And we're going to wait for Brickley to show up. Brickley was a little slower getting here than I was.
Well, but it rotates counterclockwise. That makes it a little more difficult to get here quickly.
Now, you have to also understand, too, Brickley's having a little bit more difficulty doing it because he's also not level 60, and his gear score is not as high as mine. So, as his gear score gets better and his levels go up, it'll actually get easier for him to run the box room. So, he still has to really be careful of how much damage he takes running that upper floor. I think that archer is on you, Brickley, not me. So, if you want to run past me and see if you can pull him. There he goes.
Oh, yeah. He's gonna.
And there is a boss on every 5th floor. So 5, 10, 15, 20. This next boss, the first boss we had on floor 5, he was just in a general floor. No external damages whatsoever. On floor 10, it's going to be a little different. It's going to be the same floor mechanic we just had, where we have the eye in the sky and the box in the room. And he's going to have to navigate around the room in a way to keep any other melees from getting into the box or whatever. So he's going to do the best to control him while we burn him down.
Yeah, that's the best part about Frost Ogre. There's no such thing as that. He goes where he pleases.
Now, one thing you can do is an archer or somebody can control where the box goes by just running into the box and stepping out of it. Sometimes they can control where the box goes. See how I turn the direction of the box? So now the box is running towards me this way. Another thing you can do is you just avoid the box. So you move to the other side of it the best you can, and let the tank do the tank thing. Now, the tank can pretty much stand inside the box with the boss and control it that way. And Brickley's going to do that right here. He's going to stand inside the box and keep hitting on the boss. And I'm going to make myself in an angle so I'm away from the box, so I don't step into the box. And as you notice in the upper right hand corner over here, you can see Brickley's health isn't really going down. He's just sitting there tanking the boss, using his own natural regen abilities and his foods to keep his hit points up. Now, if
That would have been smart to have a food on. Oh well.
But this list literally eliminates the need for me to keep dodging the box, I mean, which can be problematic for some people because dodging the box means I'm not doing damage. If I'm not doing damage, it means we're killing slower. So now, granted, with 5 people on this boss would have already been melted. We're doing it with 2 people, 1 DPS and 1 tank, and so we're not in ideal conditions, but for video purposes and showing the actual mechanic, this is pretty much the way it goes. So now Brickley moved it out of the box.
Somehow got out of it, yeah.
So now I have to adjust to keep from getting in the box. But I have to do it in such a way that I can keep my DPS on the boss, because once our timer is up 3 minutes, then the boss resets, we failed the floor. I like to try to stay as close to the apex of the box as possible. That means my moves are limited compared to, moving all over the floor. I'm hoping we can clear this. It'll be close.
It will be close. Like really close.
All right, so we've succeeded, and like I said, the boss was pretty much the mechanic of the room. That's what we had to deal with at the end. Now we're going into floor 11. A whole new mechanic of the floor is going to happen. We're not going to have the box now. We're going to have some other mechanics. The box will return later. I think it's on floor 15. The box floor or 16. The floor shows back up. But you see that little red circle on the ground? Those are explosive devices. You try not to attract the explosive devices, because what they'll do is they'll blow you off in the air, and then sometimes you lose aggro of the monster because you end up getting too high from them. So what you want to do is you want to dodge those the best you can. And guess what happens at the top of the ramp? You see how let's look down on the floor. See how moving around down on the floor, they kind of overlap sometimes. That's why I don't like fighting down there. Same thing happens in the upper hallway up here. They move around. Now watch what happens when Brickley and I meet at the ramp. Need to eat a food because I'm low on hit points. Brickley's going to start attacking. Draw this aggro off me. That's why it's really important that the tank gets set up quickly and starts hitting. Because even if his monsters aren't there, he's taking my monsters off me. And now, you see those little red bombs? They're not coming over here. So we're not having to worry about getting blown up from them. And this is, you know, this is the pretty much the reason why I made this video. Go down the ramp a little bit, Brickley, so you bring that mage with you. There you go, he's with us. And that's basically the purpose of the tank's job, is to maneuver around, constantly keep moving, constantly keep bringing the mobs on top of each other. As long as he has all the aggro, as he moves, the hostiles will move. But you notice these red bombs that are right here, literally right here, do not make it to the ramp to get to us, keeping us safe from getting external damage. And the whole point that I've tried to explain to everybody every time we run a dungeon is that external damage. You want to avoid the external damage. All right, here we go again. Now I triggered one of the bombs. He's chasing me. He blew up. We had to eat a food because we were almost dead. Brickley's going to settle down. He's going to start attacking, and everything's going to be on him. Now, see, he didn't attack soon enough, and that's why some of my hostiles got up and actually were able to hit me, because he missed them when he was swinging. And unfortunately, that's just the downside. So, but you see that red explosive guy? He never came past the point I'm standing at right now. And so we didn't have to worry about him. Move back over to that mage, Brickley, so we can get everybody grouped back up a little tighter.
Yeah, someone just pushed me around.
Yeah, that mage jumped away from you. So, and that's another thing. The monsters will move a little bit. That's where your frost mages are really handy. They have a group crowd control skill that brings everything together. So the archers have one too. It's just not as strong, and it doesn't make it as tight as the archer does, or the mage does. And right now you can see how my skills are all lit up blue. That's because I've hit the H button, so my character is auto attacking. But that's it, you know, there's a dual purpose to that. One, all my skills are constantly going off, nothing's getting missed. Number two, it's activating them as fast as they're ready, and so I don't have to worry about something not being fired off. I like to especially do this when I'm on my tank, because whenever something's around my tank, it'll fire off the skills, and then my tank starts doing its thing.
I didn't know any better. I'd say it also has better like luck. You get better proc chances whenever you have the auto combat on.
It might be something where you get auto.
Feels like it to me anyway.
You very well could get better luck chances for auto procking. All right, we're going to do this again. Now we've only got one hostile down there at the bottom. We got a room full of bombs, things. So we got to dodge these. So we're gonna miss those. We're just going to jolt up here. Brickley's going to set up. He's going to start attacking. And basically what he wants to do is he doesn't want to go any lower than right there where he was standing. That way he's still protected by the pillars. So when we do the box floors, he's already in the habit of going to that one location and fighting from right there. And really that's what you're setting up for. You're setting up for the chances of the one-off stuff. But you see how that red thing's coming towards me? He'll never get to me. He stops and turns away. And you'll see a lot of times too, people are calling for people to run these floors, and they're like, "Oh, I gotta have 15K to run level 1 through 10, right?" Well, I only have 13,000, and I'm doing floors 1 through 15 already. Brickley, how much is your gear score?
10.
Brickley's gear score is 10,000 points, and he's doing the same thing I'm doing. So all these people that keep going, oh, they got to have 15,000 gear score, 18,000 gear score, they just want to make it easier on themselves, which is nice, but it's not necessary. Because people like Brickley or myself, we're not going to get those higher gear scores unless we run these dungeons. And if people aren't willing to run these dungeons with us, then that makes it hard for us to get those gear scores. Starts developing that elitist attitude. So anyways, this is floor 14. This is the last time we're going to have this. So we're going to jump down here. We're going to grab our aggro. But this will be the last time we run these floors.
I doubt we kill the boss on the next one, to be honest.
We may not be able to kill the boss, but we're going to give it a good fight. Now Brickley's going to set up and he's going to start hitting.
Oh, shit. Got blue sky.
But the chances of killing the floor increases dramatically when everything is stacked on top of each other. If you're not killing everything at the same exact time, the chances of clearing that floor gets slimmer every time you level up to a new floor. And like I said, the whole strategy behind this ramp use, the top of the ramp, is all about the external damage of those not hitting us or the box room not hitting us. It just prevents them from hitting us, which is just extra damage that we have to soak up somehow in some manner. I mean, technically you could do these without a healer if you use the mechanics the proper way. Like I just saw somebody requesting DPS tank. They wanted a tank for 1 through 40 with an 18,000K gear score. Brickley's 10,000 and we're at floor 15. And the only reason we probably won't get much further is because we don't have the other 3 DPS in the group. If we had those, we'd probably get to floor 30. Because Brickley understands the mechanics of the game. So he understands the mechanics of the fight. Now, this is an open floor fight, and we have to dodge these bomber guys while we're killing this ogre. So,
Bring back where we're standing, we're fine.
No, literally right there where he's at is where you're fine. But we just literally fight him and deal with what comes at us. You sidestep every once in a while, and we should be fine. Looks like we're going to pass the DPS check on this guy, though. I think we're going to have enough DPS, because I'm actually in the meta form for the game this season, which is the Animal Tamer Archer. And like I said, we have 3 minutes to kill him. So. But, like I'm looking right there, Dragon Ice Hard, 16K, no mechs, need DPS. If you know mechanics of the fights, your DPS, I mean, your gear score doesn't matter as much. But if you don't know the mechanics, gear score becomes a big factor. A lot of times, too, people will join these groups, and they'll be like Brickley and I right now, right? Well, if I go, I'm a 13K gear score. Well, Brickley's only 10. So if I grabbed 3 more people with 14 or 15K gear score, Brickley's 10K becomes irrelevant, we'll carry him through the dungeon. He'll literally survive the dungeon because everybody else is stronger. And what happens is people will put parties together where they're the weak link of the party, and they're trying to put a whole bunch of strong people so they can get carried through it. Now, you can't see someone else's gear score, so that makes it kind of interesting to know what somebody's gear score is. Because somebody can go, I'm a 20K gear score, when really they're only a 10K gear score. So, it's a big factor that, people don't think about either, so...
I also just don't think it matters as much as most people think it does.
I don't think it does. It does on the DPS side of things because my crits are pretty strong. Like I'm critting for 5,000, 5,100, 5,500. If I was at a 10K gear score, I wouldn't be doing that much crit. But then again, my weapon and my attack stuff is really high. That's why I'm doing the damage. As far as the tank goes, as long as his armor is good, he's good. Brickley could have everything maxed out in his armor class and his resistances and have crappy gear score as far as weapons go, and our group will do just fine with him being at 10K as long as the rest of the party can carry DPS-wise. Now, we got the box again in the room. See the big box up there, the eyeball? So that means we got to dodge the box, which means the pillar comes into hand again. So Brickley's going to run it again. We're going to do this again.
Right now, I just think it'll hurt now. Oh, it's the same. I thought I'd get younger. You hit the group before I hit them.
I had no choice. They were getting past you.
Well, they had to round their corner to get to me.
No, you have to hit the ones that I'm bringing up, not the ones you're carrying. You worry about the ones I'm bringing. No, because mine made it to the top of the ramp up to the upper deck.
I had yours. You hit mine.
Right, but I hit yours because I hit the guy that was at the top of the ramp. Go a little bit further past the group. There's some stragglers down below you.
That's the mage.
Yeah, but he'll come up if you come up past me.
I think the solution here is you just need your frost mage.
My frost mage can't go this low on the floors.
I know you can.
But when that right there is on the ground, you can literally move and everything will stay inside that ring. So if you would have ran past from me from that point, then nothing would move past you.
You talking about my ring?
No, when I dropped that big 3 spear ring down the ground, I can't remember what it's called.
I didn't notice anything.
But it's like a giant cage. But see, Brickley and I, as 2 players, we're a group of 5 normally. This is, and like I said, this was floors that I was doing with people last week and the week before. They were like, oh, 15K gear score, 14K gear score required. Brickley and I are doing it at a 10,000 and a 13,000 gear score, and we're already past some of the floors that people were calling for the help with. So that just shows you that some people don't know what they're talking about when all they want to do is have stronger people do their dungeons for them. Now this is going to hurt me a lot.
The little dashy dash thing.
Yeah, I didn't make it.
Good morning.
All right, we should be recording again. I had to pause it for a minute. I had a phone call. Anyway, so yeah, so the box definitely hurts. And so that's why I said this is where your stronger tank support classes will come in. Your lance user would be the second strongest person, or something along those lines. And this is where gear scores start to really matter, because you got to have that armor to hold up. My gear score is more targeted towards attack, where Brickley's gear score is more targeted towards defense and stuff like that. So that's why he can take it a little bit easier than I can. But I even used my sprint to get out of it, and it wasn't enough to get me out of it. Down below. I bet you anything. Something returned.
No, but okay, there it is.
Yep, bring him up top.
Okay, he's not gonna die very fast. Come on, buddy.
And that's the downside too, is if you're the guy that's leading everything and you die, somebody has to go back and re-aggro everything that you had, because something will fall off for sure. And whether they run back to their set location or what is kind of unknown.
That's a painful little run, that's for sure.
Yeah. And it does start getting painful. That's why the mechanic of knowing how to do the room really is helpful. Because once you set up, your hit points just recover. Mine don't. But the box now is missing us every time it goes around the room. So we're not taking that external damage. We're staying alive because of that. You got a straggler pushing away from your group. That's that rings that are up around the fight now. That was the one I was talking about. They only last for a few seconds, but
I'm missing it, whatever it is.
also, if you've run this once, you don't get any drop the second time you run it. It's a 1 through a week kind of thing. And like I said, this just shows you how ridiculous people are when they call for all these tremendous gear scores to do obviously things that people can't do, or that people can do at lower levels. Now, see how the box is moving towards me? I'm going to let that box pass us a little bit. Brickley's going to start fighting before we get there, but we're not going to have to deal with that box this way. Well, we are going to have to deal with it a little bit.
God, it really does just kill you. Holy moly.
But, like I said, we get everything here. We kill it all at one time. We only have to fight once. If you're trying to spread everything around the floor and doing things multiple times and you're just spreading your damage all over the place. Now, Brickley needs to move a little bit to pull this mage back down. He needs to go down the ramp a little bit and then back up again. And this mage will actually draw into him. So the tank actually has to do a little work when we're in the middle of this. It just isn't a fire and forget like some people try to do. They have to do a little bit of work. But most of the time, it's just a fire and forget. Brickley hasn't gone down far enough the ramp to pull him down yet.
I'm not worried. Either he's struggling or these rangers in this group are going to be struggling.
But yeah, so you're going to run into that. I've noticed that the line of sight AI doesn't work so well in this game. So archers can shoot through things, which they shouldn't technically be able to. I mean, if I'm an archer standing right here and I move and my target's down here, I shouldn't be able to hit him, but yet it does work that way. So you have to just kind of keep moving a little bit more and more until you figure out the actual position where you want to get everything. And then a lot of times when I'm on my tank, I'll just constantly keep moving things. So now this is going to be another boss fight out in the open floor, but we're going to have a box. Brickley's going to have to try to control it.
Sure. There's a box.
So here we go.
Oh, never mind. I sang correctly. I doubt we kill this one though. Very no way.
But it's all about the damage check. Now he can stand inside the box and actually hold its position for the most part, or he can move around. It's entirely up to him. Wherever he decides to stand, though, we have to also take into consideration everybody else that's in the group. Obviously, we don't want mages inside the box. We don't want our other DPS in the box that don't have heal skills. He has a heal skill built in. It's called Light Barrier. And that'll actually regenerate his hit points. So he can stand in there and take the beating where we can't. Everybody has a little bit of a heal skill. Everybody has a little bit of heal skill. He just has the biggest pool of it. Of self-heal.
Yeah, we're not killing this guy.
So this is where our damage check's failing. We're not going to have enough DPS to kill this guy. So we'll get him close, but we won't kill him. You got 3 minutes, and so if you're not at a minute and a half, if you're not at 50%, which we're at like 55% right now, and we've got a minute 20 left, then we're not going to kill him. I'm not critting enough. Brickley's not getting enough damage. We just can't get it done.
I don't do damage.
We just don't get it done enough.
I mean, how much you say you crit for?
6,000.
Yeah, I crit for 1,000.
Yeah, well, that's because you're under geared. If you were powered up geared like I am, you'd be doing a lot more damage too. I crit on my tank for 10k.
I don't think so. That doesn't sound right.
Yep. But his gear score's a lot higher than this archer too.
I guess I can mix it. I don't have much strength. I don't really roll for it.
So we obviously can't pass the DPS check. So our floor passing is done at 20. That's where we have to. We can't go any floors above 20 until we clear 20. Or whoever hasn't cleared 20. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the dungeon. So P to leave the dungeon. Now I can get
There's
into
no way a group of 5 couldn't do that though. That'd be too easy.
Yeah, a group of 5, we'd be rolling right through that. So, like I said, it matters about how we do things. So we come in here, see both our little pictures are right here on the floor 20. You can obviously see that we've cleared these floors. They got the little claw marks through them. These are the ones we haven't done. So,
Do you get any rewards for clearing those?
Huh?
Do you get any rewards for clearing those?
Yeah, they're right here on the bottom left-hand corner. Your rewards, right here.
Bottom left-hand corner of what?
Right here on the screen. Oh, I'm not streaming. That's why. If you go to Stimen Vaults, right up here where I'm at in the top left corner of your map, let me go ahead and stream my screen for you, Brickley, so you can see what I'm looking at too.
So
Right.
the actual thingy in town.
Yeah. If you look up here in the top left corner here, you go to it's called Stimen Vaults. You go here, you click F, and the bottom left-hand corner is your rewards. This is what you get for clearing all the floors.
I'll run all the way over here.
So, anyways, thank you for joining me today. If you want to see more like this, just hit the like and subscribe. Leave me a comment if you want. And have a blessed day. Thank you.